Good day, everyone. Peace and all good. My report is all about agents of socializations, mainly the family, the school culture, the peers, and the television and media. But first, what are agents of socialization? So they are the people, the groups and institutions that influence how individuals learn the values, beliefs, norms, behaviors, and social skills needed to function in the society. So now let's proceed to the main agents of socialization. First is the family. So family is the first and most important social group in a person's life. So it is where children learn how to think, communicate, behave, and interact with others. So through family, children learns values, beliefs, traditions, and social skills that help them become responsible members of the society. Now let's proceed to the role of family in socialization. So number one is teaching basic values and norms. So one of the most important roles of the family is teaching basic values and norms. So values are principles that guide behavior, while norms are rules that society expects people to follow. So families teach children important values such as respect for others, honesty, responsibility, discipline, cooperation, and moral behavior. So an example for this is when parents remind their child or children to tell the truth even after making a mistake. So they are teaching their children honesty and responsibility. So these values help children make good decisions and become responsible adults. So the second one is the formation of identity. Family also plays a major role in shaping a child's identity. So identity refers to how people see themselves and understand who they really are. So families influences self-esteem, self-concept, gender identity, cultural identity, and religious identity. So a child who receives encouragement and support from family members often develops confidence and positive self-esteem. Likewise, children that learn their cultural traditions, language, and religious beliefs from their families. So number three is emotional development. So families provide emotional support that helps children manage their feelings and relationships. So positive family relationships help children develop confidence, trust, emotional intelligence, and healthy coping mechanisms. So when a child feels sad and a parent listens and offers comfort, the child learns how to express emotions in a healthy way. So this emotional support helps the children handle challenges and build strong relationships with others. The next one is the language development. So, family is the first place where children learn language, right? So, parents and family members help children learn vocabulary, understand communications, communication patterns, develop speaking and listening skills, and express emotions and idea. When parents read, example of this is when parents read storybooks to their children or engage them in conversations. So children improve their language and communication skills. So language is very important because it helps children connect with others and express their thoughts clearly. Number five is a social and cultural transmission. So families pass cultural knowledge from one generation to another. So they teach traditions, customs, religious beliefs, cultural practices, and social status. O kaning social status kung imuhang parents kay dato, so mapason po na ang ilahang status sa imuha. So ang ilahang pagkadato makuan po na nimo makuha po nimo kay ipason man nila nimo. So the example of this is families may celebrate traditional festivals, observe religious holidays, or prepare cultural foods that help children understand and appreciate their heritage. So through these experiences, children develop a sense of belonging and cultural identity. Next one is the importance of family socialization. So family socialization is important because one is establishes moral foundation. So children learn what is right and wrong through guidance from the family members. Next is shapes personality. So family experiences influence attitudes, behavior, and character. Next is build social competence. So children learn how to communicate, cooperate, and interact effectively with others. Next one is influences future relationships. So the relationships children experience at home often affect how they build relationships and friendships later in their lives. Next one is provides emotional security. So a supportive family environment helps children feel safe, valued, and loved. So a child raised in a caring family is more likely to develop confidence and healthy relationships with others. Next one is the challenges in modern family socialization. So unsa man yung mga challenges? Today, families face several challenges that may affect socialization. First is single-parent household. Kani, mga single parents. So, single parents often balance work and family responsibilities, leaving less time for interaction. Tungod kay sige na lang ang sige trabaho, busy sa work. So, ang kuan is less time na sila makipag-interact sa kanang family. So, divorce and family separation. So, children may experience emotional stress due to family changes. So, maka-feel jud ang mga bata og emotional stress kay tungod sa changes. Labi na og divorce or kanang family separation. So, next one is economic pressures. Financial difficulties can affect family relationships and parenting practices. Next one is reduced family interaction due to work demands. Kaning trabaho lagi. Sige na lang, trabaho. Busy work schedules may limit quality family time. So, ang time jud ang kuano nga kung sige lang nagtrabaho, wala jud kay quality time sa imong family. So, increased influence of technology and media. Children spend more time on gadgets, social media, and online platforms, which may reduce to face-to-face communication within the family. Uban, bata, sige na lamang gamit og cellphone, social media, Facebook, TikTok, kung sa panadiha. So, ma-reduce ang ilahang time to kanang bond with the family. So, despite these challenges, families can still strengthen socialization by spending quality time together, maintaining open communication, and providing emotional support. So, next one is the peer group. So, peer group consists of individuals of similar age, social status, interest, or background who interact regularly. So, peer groups become particularly influential during childhood and adolescence. So, kaning mga peer groups are the friends and classmates we spend time with every day. So, we often learn attitudes, behaviors, and values from the people around us, diba? So, because we want to fit in and be accepted, so peers can greatly influence our decisions and actions. So, this influence is known as peer pressure, which can be either positive or negative. So, ang example in ani is a student may be encouraged by friends to join a school organization and develop leadership skills. Muni ang positive impact. So, on the other hand, some students may be pressured to skip classes just to fit in with their peers. Mausad ni ang negative impact. So, now let's proceed to the functions of peer group socialization. Number one is the development of social skills. So, peer groups help individuals learn important social skills such as communication, cooperations, and conflict resolution. So, through interaction with friends, ang students learn how to express their ideas and respect the opinion of others. So, kani nga mga skills, these skills are necessary for building healthy relationships both inside and outside the classroom. Next one is the formation of identity. So, peer groups play a major role in helping young people discover who they really are. Through friendships and shared experiences, students develop their interests, beliefs, values, and personal goals. So, they begin to understand their strengths and preferences. So, the next one is, the third one is the emotional support. So, friends often provide comfort, encouragement, and understanding during difficult situations. So, peer groups create a sense of belonging, which helps students feel accepted and valued. So, this emotional support contributes to better mental and emotional well-being. So, when a student receives a low grade and feel discouraged, supportive friends can motivate them to continue studying and improve. Next one is the learning social norms. So, peer groups help individuals understand acceptable behaviors within the society. So, kaning mga students learn social rules, kaning mga proper conduct, and the importance of respecting others. So, these lessons help them become responsible member of the community. So, now, the importance of peer socialization. So, promotes independence, develop interpersonal skills, enhances emotional maturity, and builds social networks, and encourages adaptation to social environment. So, next one is the positive effects of socialization. The first one is increased confidence. So, positive peer interaction helps students develop self-esteem and confidence. Encouragement from friends motivates them to participate actively in school activities. The second one is better communication skills. So, regular interaction with peers kana mo improve ang speaking skills, ang listening skills, and ang interpersonal communication skills. So, these abilities are important for academic and personal success. The third one is sense of belonging. So, peer groups provide students with a feeling of acceptance and inclusion. So, this sense of belonging contributes to happiness and emotional security. Next one is the leadership development. Peer groups create opportunities for students to practice leadership and responsibility. So, they learn how to guide, motivate, and support others. The last one is greater independence. So, positive peer influence encourages students to become more self-reliant and responsible. So, they learn to make informed decisions and handle challenges on their own. Now, let's proceed to the negative effects of peer socialization. Kaning mga negative effects. Peer influence is not always positive. So while friends can encourage good behavior, they can also pressure individuals into making poor choices. So number one is bullying. So some peer groups may encourage in bullying or exclusion, which can negatively affect a student's confidence and well-being. Kaning risk-taking behaviors, academic neglect, pressure to conform, and pressure to conform. Now, let's proceed to the school culture. So, school cultures refers to the shared values, beliefs, attitudes, traditions, rules, and behaviors that shape the environment of a school. So, school culture creates the overall atmosphere where students learn and grow. It influences how teachers teach, how students interact, and how everyone works together within the school community. So, for example, a school that promotes respect and cooperation encourages students to treat others kindly and work effectively in groups. So, let's proceed to the contribution of school culture to socialization. Number 1 is promotes character development. So, school culture helps students develop positive values such as honesty, respect, responsibility, and kindness. So, through daily interactions and school activities, ang mga students will learn the importance of making good decisions and behaving appropriately. So, number 2 is enhancing social skills. So, school culture provides opportunities for students to communicate, collaborate, and build relationships with others. So, mga students maka-learn ng important social skills such as listening, sharing, cooperating, and resolving conflicts peacefully. The third one is prepares students for society. School culture prepares students for life beyond the classroom by teaching them social norms, responsibilities, and acceptable behavior. So students learn how to follow rules, respect authority, and contribute positively to their communities. Now the components of school culture. What are the components of the school culture? So number 1 is teacher influence. Teacher act as role models by demonstrating professionalism, fairness, respect, and ethical behavior. So teachers play a major role in shaping students' attitudes and behaviors. So students often observe and imitate the actions of their teachers, making teachers powerful examples of positive conduct. The next one is school rules. So students learn discipline, accountability, responsibility. So school rules help create a safe and organized learning environment. So by following rules, students learn self-discipline and understand the consequences of their own action. So next one is extracurricular activities. Activities such as sports clubs and student organization help develop leadership, teamwork, and social skills. So extracurricular activities provide students with opportunities to explore their interests and talents outside the classroom. And the next one is diversity exposure. Schools expose students to people from different cultures, religions, ethnic backgrounds, and social classes. So exposure to diversity helps students appreciate and respect differences among people. Okay, now we will proceed to the television and digital media as agent of socialization. So, television and digital media include television programs, social media platforms, websites, streaming services, online games, and digital communication technologies that influence attitudes, beliefs, and behavior. So, these forms of media play an important role in shaping how people think, interact, and understand the world around them. So, through daily exposure, individuals learn values, norms, and behavior from the content they consume. So, the role of television and digital media. One is information dissemination. So, television and digital media serve as major sources of information. So, they help people stay updated about current events, mga weather condition, and educational topics. And most importantly, mga public announcement. For example, this is during natural disasters, news channels and social media provide important updates that help communities stay safe and informed. So, number 2 is cultural transmission. Media helps pass cultural values, traditions, and practices from one generation to another. So people learn about their own culture as well as culture of other countries through television programs and online content. Number 3 is shaping attitudes and beliefs. So the messages presented in media can influence how people think about social issues, relationships, and personal values. So Repeated exposure to certain ideas may affect opinions and behaviors. The next one is the entertainment and social learning. So television and digital media provide entertainment while also teaching valuable lessons. People often learn social skills, problem-solving strategies, and acceptable behavior by observing characters and influencers. So, let's proceed to the positive effects of television and digital media. Number one is educational benefits. Media can support learning, provide educational resources, enhance digital literacy, and promote lifelong learning. So, educational videos, online courses, and tutorials allow people to learn new skills anytime and anywhere. So, global awareness, kaning social connectivity. So, kaning social connectivity, digital media facilitates communication, collaboration, and networking. So, people can easily connect with family members, friends, classmates, and colleagues regardless of distance. Bisag asa pa na sila nagpuyo, we were able to communicate with them through the use of unsa man kato mga messenger, unsa pa na nga social media nga platform. Number 4 is skill development. Individuals can develop technical skills, can create ang ilahang creative abilities and problem-solving skills through the digital media. So many online platforms provide opportunities for learning graphic design, programming, writing, and other valuable skills. So the negative effects of television and digital media. So exposure to violence, stereotyping, cyberbullying, addiction, and overuse, and misinformation. So, unsa man ning kanang exposure to violence? So, repeated exposure to violence content may increase aggression and reduce sensitivity to violence. So, when individuals frequently watch violent scenes, they may begin to see such behavior as normal. For example, children who constantly watch violent programs may imitate aggressive actions they observe. That's why ato jud na sila ilimit sa pag-use og kanang gadgets kay kung sa ilahang pangtanaw diha unsa na diha mga lain na. So maka-apekto na sa ilahang behavior. Ang sa maning stereotyping, media may reinforce gender stereotypes, racial stereotypes, and social racial stereotypes. So these portrayals can create unfair assumptions about certain groups of people. So for example, some advertisements may suggest that certain jobs are suitable only for men or women, which can influence people's perceptions. Number 3 is cyberbullying. So online environments may facilitate harassment, social exclusions, and emotional distress. Because communication is often anonymous, some individuals use digital platforms to bully others. For example, hurtful comments and online rumors can negatively affect a person's self-esteem and mental health. Aware naman tayo taaning sa mga cyberbullying. So, addiction and overuse. So, excessive media use can contribute to reduced physical activities, sleep problems, academic difficulties, and mental health issues. So, spending too much time online may reduce time for studying, exercising, and socializing face-to-face. Number 5 is misinformation. So, digital media can spread false information, conspiracy theories, and misleading content. So, not all information found online is accurate or trustworthy. So, making critical thinking essential. Dapat jud nga aware ta of if the information is fake or tinuod. So, for example, fake news shared on social media can cause confusions and influence people's decisions based on incorrect facts. And that would be all. Thank you everyone for listening, and God bless.